Hey there and welcome. If you're ready to start actually speaking German, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the single most important piece of the puzzle, the present tense. I promise, by the end of this, you'll be able to form your own correct German sentences. You ready? Let's dive in. No, really, I'm serious. Do you want to start speaking German like today? Because mastering the present tense is the absolute key. It unlocks basic conversations. It lets you talk about what you're doing right now, what you like, what's going on around you. This is where the fun really begins. So the German present tense, which is called Präsens, is a real powerhouse. And what's so cool about it is that it's way more versatile than the English present tense. You'll use it to talk about what's happening this very second, to describe general habits, and even to talk about the near future. Yep, one tense, three uses. That's awesome news for us as learners because it simplifies things a whole lot. Okay, here's our game plan. First up, we'll cover the absolute basics. Then we'll lock down the main pattern with what are called regular verbs. After that, we'll look at a small, little twist for pronunciation, and then we'll tackle the strong verbs. But don't worry, they're not as scary as they sound. We'll wrap it all up with a quick review and a little practice quiz. Let's do this. All right, first things first. What even is the present tense? Before we can start building sentences, we gotta know how German verbs are put together. You can think of them like a little two-part machine. Let's break that machine down. So every verb you look up in a dictionary is in its infinitive form. Most of them end in n, like machen, which means to make or to do. The very first step, always, is to find the verb's stem. And it's easy. You just chop off that n ending. What's left is the stem, in this case, mach. I like to think of the stem as the engine of the verb. It has the core meaning. The endings we add, those are like the gears. They tell us who is doing the action. And here they are, the gears. This table right here is your master key. Seriously, screenshot this, write it down, whatever you need to do, because it is the foundation for almost everything. For each person, ich for I, du for you, and so on, there's a specific ending we attach to that verb stem. Let's go through them. Ich gets an I, du gets t, sie es gets a t, wir gets n, ihr, that's for you all, gets t, and sie for they, and the formal sie for you, both get n. This pattern is about to become your new best friend. You will see it everywhere. Okay, section 2, regular verbs. Let's put that master key to use. We're starting with regular verbs because they are 100% predictable. They follow the rules perfectly, and that makes them the best place to build our confidence. Let's do our first one together. Our first example is machen, meaning to do or to make. You're going to hear this one all the time. So what's step 1? Find the stem. What's the stem of machen? You got it, mach. Now all we have to do is attach our endings from that master key table. And here it is, the full conjugation. We take our stem, mach, and just plug in those endings. So for I do, it's ich mache. For you do, it's du machst. For he, she does, sie macht. Now here's a little aha moment for you. Notice the wir and sie forms? Wir machen, sie machen. They look exactly the same as the infinitive we started with. That's a super helpful pattern to remember. And for you all do, ihr macht. Okay, the most important part is getting used to the sound. Repeat after me out loud if you can. Ready? Ich mache, du machst, macht, wir machen, ihr macht, sie machen. Fantastic. And just like that, you can make real sentences. Look at this. Ich mache meine Hausaufgaben. That means I am doing my homework. Or how about wir machen eine Party? We are having a party. It's that simple. You just built 2 complete, correct German sentences. Go ahead, give yourself a pat on the back. All right, let's do one more just to really hammer this pattern home. A very appropriate verb for us, lernen, to learn. So you know the drill. What's the first step? Find the stem. The infinitive is lernen, we chop off the en, and our stem is lern. Perfect. Now let's apply those same endings. And there you have it. It's the exact same pattern as machen. Look at those endings. I, est, t, n, t, n. Perfectly regular. Okay, time to practice saying it again. Repeat after me. Ich lerne, du lernst, lernt, wir lernen, ihr lernt, sie lernen. Excellent. Let's see this one in action. I can now say something to you that is 100% true. Du lernst Deutsch. You are learning German. See? Or if we were talking about a group of people, we could say, Sie lernen schnell. They learn quickly. You are really getting the hang of this. All right, section 3, the stem ending twist. You've totally got the main pattern down. Now let's look at one small, totally logical adjustment the language makes. This isn't really a new rule you have to memorize. It's just a simple fix to make certain words easier to say. So, what happens when a verb stem ends in a T or a D sound? Let's take the verb arbeiten, which means to work. The stem is arbeit. Now, just try for a second to add our normal do ending, stus. You get arbeitst, or the air ending, tit. Arbeitst. It's just a clumsy mouthful, right? Well, Germans thought so too. So to fix this, they just pop an extra E in there to make it sound smooth. And this slide shows that solution perfectly. Just look at the do, er, cs, and ear forms. Instead of just adding est and tet, we add est and etet. So you get du arbeitest, er arbeitest, and ihr arbeitet. Can you hear how much better that flows? The other forms, like ich and wir, don't need the fix because their endings already start with a vowel. So here's the takeaway. This isn't a rule to memorize, it's a rule to hear. It just sounds right. All right, next up, section 4, strong verbs. We've handled the regulars and that little pronunciation fix. Now it's time for the final piece of the present tense puzzle, strong verbs. But please, don't let the name scare you. I like to call them verbs with personality because they aren't more difficult, they just have a fun little twist. Okay, this is the entire secret to strong verbs in the present tense. Are you ready? They use the exact same endings that you already memorized. The only difference is that for 2 specific forms, and only for do and er zcs, the vowel in the middle of the stem changes. That's it. That's the only new thing you need to watch out for. Let's see this in action with fahren, which means to drive. Look at the table. Ich fahre is totally normal. Wir fahren, ihr fahrt, sie fahren. All completely normal. They follow the rules we already know. But now, look closely at the do and er zs forms. Notice the vowel change? The a in the stem fahr changes to an e, which has a kind of e sound. So it becomes du fährst and er fährt. But the endings st and t are exactly what we expect. It's just that little vowel swap in the middle. Here's another super common one with the verb sprechen, to speak. The stem vowel here is e, and just like before, the ich, wir, ihr, and sie forms are all perfectly regular. But for do and er zs, that e changes to a short e sound. So you speak becomes du sprichst, and she speaks is sie spricht. Let's practice just those 2 special forms. Repeat after me. Du sprichst. Sie spricht. Hey, you're literally speaking German right now. Okay, our last example for today is lesen, which means to read. In this pattern, the E and the stem stretches out into a long E sound, like E. So ich lese is normal, but then we have du liest and er liest. So to say you read a book, it's du liest ein Buch. Here's what I really want you to remember. Even with these quirky vowel changes, those personal endings we learned at the very beginning are still a reliable guide. They never, ever change. Fantastic work. We've made it to our last section, review and practice. We've covered regular verbs, the pronunciation fix, and the vowel changes in strong verbs. Now it's time to put it all together and test what you've learned. This is the you do part of our lesson. Let's boil it all down. If you only remember 2 things from today, make it these 2. For regular verbs, it's just stem plus ending. Simple. For strong verbs, it's the exact same thing, stem plus ending, but you have to remember to change that stem vowel, but only for the do and er cs forms. That's really the entire core of the German present tense. All right, mini quiz time. First question. If I drive is ich fahre, then what is the do form for you drive? Think about the verb fahren. Is it regular or strong? What happens to that a? Go ahead and pause the video and say your answer out loud. And the answer is du fährst. The a changes to a, and we add our normal est ending. Excellent. If you got that, you've totally understood the main idea of strong verbs. Okay, next one. If I speak is ich spreche, what is the er form for he speaks? Remember that vowel change pattern for sprechen. What does that e turn into? Go ahead and pause and think about it. And the answer is spricht. The e changes to e, and we add the standard t ending for er. Wunderbar. You are doing an absolutely amazing job with this. We're going to end with a very famous German proverb. Übung macht den Meister. It means practice makes the master, or as we usually say, practice makes perfect. You now have the fundamental rules for the German present tense. Your next step is just to practice. Go back through the tables we looked at, say them out loud, and try making your own simple sentences. You have the tools. Now go and build with them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.